Good morning, Facebook. Happy Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Broadcasting live from the center of the world, Chicago land area. Well, if you don't know, now you know that I'm a hero, I'm a legend, I'm a grandpa. And so we have been doing a show for about 2 years called Ask Joshua. And Ask Joshua was about answering financial questions. After the audience asked about insurance, after they asked about things of that nature, let me bring my guy on. All right. Hey, questions were very, very limited. All right. After they asked about Ralph IRAs. Morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, sir. How you doing, man?
Wonderful. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. How can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hey,
I
you
can hear.
participating in that No Shave November?
Yeah, man. I'm going woolly for a while. Before I shave, before we're going to talk about that. Going on my getting ready to take a trip, so just kind of holding off on the grooming,
Gotcha,
right?
gotcha. Okay.
So we were just telling our audience that for about 2 years we did a show called Ask Joshua. And it was all about answering financial questions. And uh, it wasn't going very well because after people asked about um, life insurance, um, Roth IRAs, 401ks, things of that nature, they had nothing more to ask financially. So it did tell me that there was a financial literacy gap about things that we should asked about. So I said, forget it. I just started talking. I just started choosing topics, tax topics, things that are important in financial matters. So uh, that's over. That's gone. We're not doing that anymore, right? We're doing. Let's see if I can get myself into the camera here. Okay. Uh, we're not doing that anymore. This we have Joshua Pondexter has joined the Manosphere. It's a real thing. It is content designed to help build up the man, right?
Mhm.
Give him information that he can use to make him a better man. That's what everybody talking about. They want. I want men to be men, right? Well, that's what this channel is about, and it's not for women. And you can watch, and if you have men, we encourage that you encourage your men to watch this channel. It's um, Facebook Live on Fridays. Then there's a YouTube channel called Joshua Pondexter, right? So I'm gonna be putting a lot of content up there. Good morning, Brother Dwayne. So this manosphere, right? Red pill, blue pill, beta male, simps. It's a whole monogeny or it's just a whole bunch of terms over there that they dealing with, and so it does in some aspects create a divide, but it does make men feel good about themselves, which is uh, they don't get that anywhere. We don't even get to be the big piece of chicken anymore. You know what I'm saying? So this is about making men feel good about themselves. And the way we make you feel good about yourself is having you develop into the man that you want to be, right? So this particular, in the manosphere, there's something else that's going on. Passport bros, right? Where they're
Passport, bro.
encouraging uh, black men specifically, to get outside of this country and see other things. Expose your mind, right? Get more cultured, get more exposed to other cultures and food and entertainment and lifestyles, right? So that's what we're going to talk about, passport bros. Well, and we were talking about this morning that we have been passport bros, but since we were 17 and 18, because
Yeah.
we got a passport when we went in the military. The military give you an ID, and with that military ID, you don't need a passport. That's your passport. You're free to move around the world, right? So, Gerard, what was the first country that you visited with your military passport?
Oh man, with my military passport, man, my first one was the great country of Bosnia Herzegovina. That's
Okay.
when, I don't know if you remember that quote unquote peace mission that was going on over there in the 1996, 95, 96. So that was my first travel courtesy of Uncle Sam.
Yeah, going to another European country, Bosnia.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
they're a
it
little
wasn't pretty
different.
either.
Say again?
I said it wasn't that pretty either. Well, I take
Right,
that
yeah.
back. The landscape, it was mountainous. It was a beautiful country. It just was war torn at the time. But yeah, it was a beautiful country, and I did get to enjoy some parts of it.
Right, yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I will tell you, my first trip was to the land down under,
Oh, Australia.
Australia. I was set about, let's say, 18 years old. I was stationed there for 2 years. So I kind of grew up in the land down under as a man, right? Coming of age, right? So to be from your mom and dad house, to be on your own, making decisions about where to go, what to do during your social time off the military, right? So I would advise it for any young man to travel. Now you have to do the military, right? So what I'm gonna tell you, so they got the passport bros. Of course, I have a real passport. Been having one for a long time, right? This is my renewed one. It doesn't have any stamps because I think I renewed it during the pandemic, right? So we're about to get this thing stamped up, right? So when you look back, and I'm going to talk about future travel, but when you look back, how did traveling outside the country as the early age shape you as a man?
Yeah, that's a good question. I remember seeing this Facebook post that said one of the cures to ignorance is travel, and I immediately understood exactly what she was saying. I remember just we go from a little small town,
Right.
but when you go and experience what you said earlier about experience other people's culture, the entertainment, and all the lights that come with being in those countries, man, it just I think it shapes your worldview. It changes your worldview.
Right.
You grow up hearing the exceptionalism of America. And it all, for me, I'm gonna be honest, it made me think that other countries just didn't have much to offer. But being in these other countries, it just opened my whole mindset to people, the culture. One of the things we used to always say is what we ain't gonna eat and what we don't do and what we ain't gonna ever try. You get in these other countries and you start trying the foods and just a number of things, man. And it's life changing. It is life changing.
Yeah. And so what happens that when you're a black man, growing up in America, looking at all these flashing lights and things that you have to obtain to be valuable, that's not the case overseas, right? A man with a high school education, a man that go to work every day, he has value, right? So we're like, hey, if we don't go get a bachelor's, master's, PhD, and do all this attainment, the value system is not there. So you begin to see a different value system, and then you begin to realize that, hey, I have value, right? And we're just talking about as a man. We're talking about how you were perceived by other people. Just it shaped. I like I said, I went in the military when I was 17, and so I had a view of the world from a small town like yourself. We're both from the same place, and so I had a view of the world, what was possible for me, right?
Yeah.
And so my plan when I went into the Navy was to come out of the Navy and then go to work for the Department of the Army, Red River Army Base. That was my goal, right? I figured, hey, that's as far as I could see as a possibility. My friends, my family members that was male that was doing that had a pretty decent lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So I thought. Yeah, they were struggling. Oh, I thought they were living high on the hog, right? They were struggling because they had to go to a job that they did not like. They were still in the heat of racism, right? Then they had mortgages and children and wives to pay for. What a mess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so I was able to see different because I was able to interact with the business class in other countries where people in business would, they didn't have time to talk to me, right? So that whole shift, right? So there's a movement afoot to encourage men to get outside of this country.
Yeah.
And I am encouraging you to do that. Passport bros, get your passport and move around and see other things. Expand your knowledge, right? It's good to read a book, right? Yeah, but you got to expand your knowledge. And so, and I noticed that you kind of move around a little bit too. I saw in the last 12 months, where have you been?
Oh man, I've been all over, man. And I was just gonna preface before I say that the affordability. I don't know if he's gonna talk about that or not, but relatively speaking, what it costs you to go to Vegas and Miami and some of these other big name towns, you can get there for equal or sometimes less, cost. So
Yeah.
just want to put that out there. But yeah, I've been I had a cousin and a really good friend got married in Jamaica. Two different trips. So I did two different trips in Jamaica. I've been to Chicago a couple times this year.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't get the rub shoulders when I was there. It just had a lot going on. But Atlanta,
Right.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
So I've had a few trips this year, and Vegas.
Right. So when that's very critical, because when you consider what it costs to go to Vegas, what it costs to go to Atlanta, Miami, Chicago, flight, stay in a hotel, food, and some entertainment, you can go down to the Caribbean. If you don't stay on one of them all-inclusive places, you can go get an Airbnb. You can get you a cook, get you a maid. You can stay down there for 10, 15 days for the cost of going to Vegas for 5 days.
Yeah.
So the expense ratio. So, and then not only that, since the cost of living is so affordable, and people it doesn't take that much for them to live, they are happier with less.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we can't be happy because we're busy watching too much TV and reality shows. They got to have a bigger house, a bigger car, no, we can't, those, so it's like, well, you're going to a third world country. Well, statistically has shown that those people are happier than Americans. Most Americans are miserable. They're miserable with their lives. They're dissatisfied with everything. They got everything, but they're dissatisfied, right? So that's, and so here's another thing that you got to learn how to do. I'm going to Belize for 10 days. 10 days. Passport broke. My Airbnb is costing me $540
For
for
10
that
days.
period.
Wow.
My ticket is costing me $84 plus points round trip. So that's why you got to get your credit together. You got to get yourself together, get you some reward program so you can travel the world and not spend a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, it's crazy. So now I'm talking about lodging and flight less than $700, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm gonna go down there and ball out of control. I'm gonna spend $1,000. Man, I'm gonna have somebody cook me breakfast, lunch, and dinner, food to my design, vegetarian, vegan taste, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go all the sightseeing. I'm gonna show you guys some of that when I'm down there.
Yeah. Make sure you get
show
all
my
the footage,
my travel log. You know what I mean? To encourage. This is to encourage men to travel, right?
Yeah.
To travel.
That's good,
right?
That's good. And I was thinking too about the cost. I had a friend that was just over in can't remember where she went, but the cost of travel actually when you're overseas is a lot less too. And I can't remember where she was, but she went to Thailand, and she was telling me the round trip from where she originated to Thailand and back, of course, was like less than $70. So I'm just thinking about how the expensive it is. It's cooked into the cost to travel stateside. But she's over there, got there, and all the expenses, man, it's nowhere near like what it is here when you're trying to move about.
Yeah, and because there's a lot of competition for flights here. Like if you from Chicago to New York, you got a lot of business travelers going there, so there's a lot of competition for those seats, right? And so some places you could be going, there's not a lot of competition for the seats. You can go from here to New York round trip, and then you can look at a travel from here to Panama. It's same price or less.
Yeah, or less, a lot less.
Yeah. And then when you go down there, you can go and eat and shop and enjoy life. Man, I'm telling you, 10 days. I said if I said $100, I don't think I'm gonna spend $100 a day, but that's flat out balling out of control.
Yeah.
If I wanted to ball out of control in Chicago, it would cost me $500 a day.
It's crazy. And you got me thinking, I can't even remember who it was a concert here in the States. I don't remember who the artist was, but they was trying to get tickets and they was upward of about $4 and $5 grand. But over somewhere in Europe, it was like $150. So they were saying it was a lot cheaper to plan a trip over there and see it versus, seeing that same concert here in the States. So again, man, it's a mindset. I know for me it was a mindset. Just to get out of my comfort zone and what's familiar, and be one of those passport bros, man, and get out there and travel and experiencing it.
Right, and this is not. Nobody's trying to get away from anything. I'm not encouraging people to leave America and go over here because these countries are so great. But I am encouraging you to get your money up, get your credit up, get your energy level up, and go out and enjoy the world, right? And experience life. And the thing about it, this is affordable for the middle class person.
Just take a little planning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you know, if you take 3 to 4 months, put some money up, couple $1,000, boom. So this is what, you know, so Joshua Pondexter on YouTube, this channel is going to be all about the development of men uh, to expand yourself, expand your knowledge. We're going to have some books that we're going to recommend and review, and just try to keep it as positive as possible. I have noticed that watching so much content on YouTube, all the madness is just being regurgitated, right? And so I'm like, wow, this guy, all he's doing is regurgitating madness, and he got over 200,000 subscribers, right? So that lets me know he's making about 50 grand a month. So
Yeah.
you know, so so what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna get into the madness, but it has to be some quality of entertainment. There's spaces for us to get into, and we're in the manosphere is real. Men need to be encouraged and built up so that they can do the heavy lifting that they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
In
important. Good morning. So Brother Edward Austin is saying good morning, right?
Hey, good morning.
So yeah, so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about doing the heavy lifting, being a man, covering everything you stand on, right? Yeah, covering all bases, self-development, being a man, right? A man, he's a provider, he's a protector, he's a promoter, and he is the priest of his family, right? So these are areas that we have to function in. And so we're gonna hit all these areas. We're gonna talk about how to developing all these areas. But hey, get your passport, go see something different, right? If it's only for 2-3 days, get out, see something, get a little taste of what life is outside of this racist system that we live in. That says black man, you have no value, right? That you evil, no, right? So that's it, man. That's all I got for the people. Passport Bros is a real thing. I will be posting videos and stuff like that when I'm in Belize. Yeah, we about to make you real jealous this year, right? we got trips planned. Belize,
yeah.
Dominican, Panama, Colombia, Brazil, Africa. We about to turn it up, man.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah, about to turn it up, turn it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I might get a little travel group together.
Man, do that. Hey, I'm on board with it, man. So I understand the value of travel. I want to be a part of it. So you know, and then the fellowship that comes with it if you got a group with you too. So.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, I ain't gonna hold you up anymore this morning. We're gonna let you roll. I know you traveling now. You're on the road now. Traveling man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. You gotta get it in, brother.
Yeah.
So, in,
hey, brother,
you,
be blessed, and we will see you soon.
All right, see you. Take care, Josh.
All right, man. Hey, people, this is the deal. It's all about traveling. We want, let's see. We want you guys to get out here and see the world so that you can be of better value to your sons, to your daughters. Let them know that this is a big world, that they can, in fact, do something different, right, than working for the plantation. All right, brother. Peace.
All right. Peace.